Hey guys, my name's Dave and I'm part of the team at Youthscape. So summer's right around the corner and that can often mean exams for some people. And exams can be stressful, but they don't have to be. So we've come up with a few things that we think might make a difference to help reducing exam stress. Firstly, make sure there's no surprises. So there's nothing worse than realising the night before you've got an exam you didn't realise about. So whether that is getting an exam timetable or asking your teachers, try and make sure you can always see where your exam timetable is. Maybe put it up in your room, so you know when they are, what exams they are and how long they are as well. Secondly, make sure you're doing the basics well. So make sure you're getting lots of sleep, eating well, drinking lots of water, all that stuff you've probably heard before, but that just helps set the body up to win, which helps you to win. Next, I think it's important to make sure you're getting outside. I spend a lot of my time revising and doing essays and exams inside, especially when the sun's outside, and you can see all your mates playing outside through the window. There's nothing worse than having that feeling. So try and make sure that at some points during your breaks you get outside and get to enjoy the weather. Also, that fresh air might do you a bit of good as well. Another thing is when you are having those breaks, to make sure that you're doing things that help restore you rather than just fill your time. So I often found myself scrolling through my phone on social media, which wasn't necessarily the most helpful thing during my time off, especially as I'm a creative person. So during my time off, I often now try and play a little bit of piano to help reduce those kind of like stressy thoughts. Another one is to be creative. You don't necessarily have to revise inside. You don't necessarily have to revise inside. You can go to a coffee shop or be in your garden. Do what works for you and make sure you've got something that does work for you. One of those ways could be even to have your own chair in your room or something, or a certain area. That's what I did. I made sure that whenever I was doing revision, I was sitting in a certain space in my room, and so I always associated that space with working. I meant when I was relaxing outside of that space during my breaks, I didn't feel like I was cheating. Another thing that could be helpful for you is try not to talk about specific questions after exams. So whenever you finish the exam, the first thing you want to do is find out if you've done well. So you ask your mates about questions and specific answers, but that's not always the best thing, especially when you have to compare yourself and you find out maybe you didn't answer one of them correctly, or they didn't answer one correctly. So maybe instead of asking about specifics, ask about how the whole exam went as a whole. Finally, make sure you have something to look forward to at the end. So whether it's the end of each exam, like going for an ice cream or something, or whether it's something at the end of the whole set of exams, like going on holiday, make sure you know that and have something at the end of the tunnel almost. I hope these tips have helped you, and I hope and wish you all the best of luck with your exams. Bye.